So this is a video that a lot of you have been waiting for, where I'm going to show you how you can not only use Claude to assist you in building a digital product store, but I'm also going to show you how Claude can assist you with a lot of the things that you need to do on the back end of your store as well. If you're a returning viewer on this channel, you would already know that one of the best ways to build a long-term digital product brand is to use Shopify. And the reason for that is because Shopify has got so many different features and aspects to it that make the digital product store creation process that much more simpler. But one thing that tends to confuse a lot of people is what they need to do on the back end of their store to make sure that they're ready and they're in a position to start selling. So that's exactly what we're going to go through in this video. I'm going to walk you through a lot of the important things that you need to know. So make sure you stick around from start to finish so that you don't miss anything that's going to set you on the right path. Now, before we get into the Claude side of things, for those of you that don't already have your store up and running, if you want to get one built super quick, what you can do is go over to this tool that you can see on the screen called Digital Maker AI. It's completely free for you to sign up. All you need to do is go over to the left-hand side and then click on Website Maker. And it's going to be here where you can select the option for the store that you want to build, go through the process. For you to get your store set up, it's going to take probably 30 seconds, maybe less than that. And before you know it, you're going to gain access to a fully customized store around the brand and the types of digital products that you want to sell. So as you can see, this is a store that I built earlier, and the intention of it is to list various different spreadsheets, Google Sheets, Excel spreadsheets, and things like that. This is just a demonstration store. I'm going to be using it as an example just to point out a lot of the things that you need to do on the back end of the store that you're about to build. But yeah, I'm sure that we can all agree that this looks well built, well designed, very professional, and the fact that you can build this for completely free is something that every single one of you should be taking advantage of. Which actually brings me on to one of the first things that you're capable of doing with Claude, if you didn't know already, which is the fact that Claude can build a wide variety of different types of digital products. There's around 7, maybe 10 different digital products that Claude is able to build. Things like Notion templates, ebooks, PDF guides, digital planners, and the list goes on and on. But another type is going to be things like Google and Excel spreadsheets. And for those of you that wanted to use Claude to build a digital product, all you need to do is just go back over to Digital Maker AI, click on Claude just like that. And you got the option to build out a digital product. You're just going to select this option. As you can see, these are the different options that are available. So if I wanted to build a brand new one for me to list on the site, all I need to do is click on spreadsheet. Go through all of the questions for me to build out the best prompt possible. Once I do get that prompt and I paste it directly into Claude, what it's going to do is come back with a fully sellable spreadsheet similar to the one that you can see on the screen. So yeah, that's a general overview as to how Claude can assist you with building out the foundation of your store. And remember, I'm only using this type of digital product as an example. Everything that I'm going to show you now in regards to what you need to do on the back end of your store is something that you're going to do no matter what type of product you're selling. But this now brings me on to one of the first back end things that you need to do with your Shopify store that Claude can actually help you with, which is to set up your policy pages. So if I scroll down to the bottom of this site that I've built, as you can see, there's no policy pages available because you're going to have to set them up yourself. And by policy pages, all this means is things like terms of service, privacy policy, shipping policy, refund policy, things like that. The reason why this is important to do is because if you don't do it, then your chances of getting a sale is going to be lower because customers are not going to trust you. Your site is not going to be shown to more people. There's going to be a ripple effect that's going to happen if you don't set up your policy pages ASAP. And to quickly show you exactly what I'm talking about, if we go over to this site that I found not too long ago that's doing something very similar to the site that I've just built, what they have is this website where they're focused on selling a wide variety of different types of Excel spreadsheets. And if we just scroll down to the bottom, we can see that they have all of their policy pages laid out right here. We've got the refund, privacy, terms of service, contact information, all of these important things that you need to make sure that you do ASAP. And one quick tip for any beginner out there before I show you how to set up your policy pages. This is the reason why I always teach the importance of studying a site that's doing exactly what you want to do and making sure that they're actually bringing in some sort of revenue, because you can essentially replicate everything that they've done so that you can increase your chances of being successful. And the way that you can do that, if you've been able to find the website, is to copy the URL. Let me just do that just like this. And then make my way back over to Digital Maker AI, click on the competitor analyzer tool, paste the URL in there just like that, and then click on analyze. And what should happen is that you should now be presented with all of this data. So Instantly, we can see the estimated revenue for the month. We can see how they're generating traffic, and we can also get an idea on their daily sales as well. So yeah, I thought I'll quickly show you that because it's really helpful, but let's move on to how you're going to create your policy pages. So what you need to do is just go back to the back end of your Shopify store. You're going to click on settings. And then on the left-hand side, what you're going to see is policies. So you just need to select that. And it's going to be here where you're now going to create all of your policies. So Shopify has made it super easy. As you can see, everything is already laid out. So you just need to click into each one. So if I click into, let's say, privacy policy, let's just see exactly what's there. So, okay, we can see that the policy has already been set. You don't need to do anything with this. Shopify is going to take all of the information that you gave it for it to produce the policy page for you. So let's move on to the terms of service. This is one that you're going to have to set yourself. So another good thing about Shopify is that if you want to use one of their automatic templates, you can do that just by clicking on insert template right there. And as you can see, all the information has already been added, so you don't really need to do too much. The only thing that you need to do is go through it and remove any placeholder text. Shopify is automatically going to add sections like this where you need to insert the necessary information. So whatever's applicable to you, this is where you're going to update it. And just generally, you're going to go through the whole thing and see if there's anything else you need to update as well. And this is the exact same thing that you need to do for the remaining policies. So you could just click into it and insert the template. But you're going to notice that there's going to be some policies where you can't use a template, e.g. the shipping policy. As you can see, there's no option right here. So this is where Claude is going to be able to help you. To show you an example as to how this will work, if I just enter this prompt, all I'm going to say is I need you to write a shipping policy for a digital product store using HTML in a well-designed way. Ensure that you mention that this is a store that sells spreadsheets and that it will automatically be sent out, and also make sure that it's well formatted and designed also. So from this prompt, I'm sure that you guys get the point as to what I'm doing, but if I just click on enter, right there, as you can see, it's now come back with the shipping policy template for me to copy and paste. So with this, what I can now do is just copy the entire code. Go back over to my shipping policy, click on the HTML editor, paste everything in there just like that, and then click on publish. And I'm sure that we can all agree that it's done a pretty decent job. So what I'm going to do is just close this down. Okay, so all of them have already been done, but for the policies to show up on your actual site, you need to click on content on the left-hand side and then menus. I've already started adding all of them, as you can see, but I'm just going to add the last one, which is contact information. You just need to map it to the correct page. So I'm going to click on policies, click on the correct one, and then click on save. And if I make my way over to the home page and then scroll down to the bottom, as we can see, all of the different policy pages are now available. So yeah, that's the basic idea as to how this works. If we just double check the shipping policy, as you can see, it also came out looking really good as well. And that is one of the many ways that Claude is going to help you with this back end setup process. But let's move on to one of the next things that you need to do on the back end, generally speaking, which is that you need to set up your payment processor. For those of you that don't know, the reason why this is important is because if you don't have an active payment processor on your website, you're not going to be able to collect payments. This is something that I would recommend that you do as soon as possible. The way that you can do it is just to click into settings. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see payments. This is what I would recommend for most people. The process is pretty straightforward. Let me just walk you through it. So I'm going to blur all of this out, but on this page, it's going to ask you for your first name, last name, your date of birth, your email address, your phone number, your address, details like that. This is very important that Shopify gets accurate information from you, because if you give any wrong information, you're not going to be allowed to collect payments, and it may affect you being able to register in the future. You're also going to need to provide some sort of identification, whether that's going to be a passport, driving license, so that Shopify knows exactly who you are. The way that you should see this part of the process is like registering for a bank account. If you don't have the necessary documents, you're not going to get accepted. But onto one of the next things that you need to make sure that you do from the very beginning is to search for your domain and make sure that it's available. You can do this by going over to sites like GoDaddy. This is what I've personally been using for the past 7 or 8 years. You can even get a domain directly from Shopify as well. But as we can see, the name of this store is called Direct Sheets. Remember guys, this is just an example store. But if I want to check if the domain is available, what I can do is go directly on to GoDaddy. And right there, we can see that the domain is available, and it's only going to cost me around 1 cent or 1 penny for me to purchase it. Having a domain name that relates to the types of products that you're selling is one of the most important things, because it's automatically going to tell the person that has landed on your site what you're focused on selling and what you specialize in. Moving on to one of the next back-end things that you need to do, which is also somewhat of a front-end thing as well, which is to get a custom logo. So one thing that you're going to notice once your site has been built is that you're going to have standard text for the name of your brand. Now, this isn't a bad thing and you can definitely start selling like this, but if you did want to get a custom logo, this isn't a difficult thing to do. Literally all it takes is to go back over to Digital Maker AI and then click on the image maker, and you're going to see logo design right here, and you can use this to get a custom logo made for the digital product brand that you're building. So I'm just going to type in direct sheets for the name of the brand. Let's type it in there like that and then click on next. Logo type, I'm going to say that I want it to be graphic as well as text. So I'm going to click on text and icon. For the style, I want it to be minimal and clean. I don't want it to be too much. Let's go with this. For the colors, I'm going to go with a similar color scheme to the actual website, which is going to be green and black. Let's go with that. Click on next. And the good thing about Digital Maker AI's image generation tool is that you can generate up to 4 different images, and this means that you have a few different options to pick from, and if you don't like any of them, you can always regenerate them. And it's going to be in this box where you can now give it additional instructions and just tell it exactly what your brand is all about. So I may want to type in something along the lines of, this is a store that sells things like Excel and Google spreadsheets. But here we go, guys. Just like that, it's now come back with 4 simple logos that I can download straight away. I can download all of them. I can maybe download one of them. You know, I've got complete flexibility. If I don't like any of them for whatever reason, I can regenerate them by either selecting all, or I can select one of them, enter what I don't like about it, and I can get a brand new image made. And once you've downloaded your logo and you're ready to upload it to your store, you just need to click into theme settings. You're going to see logo image option right there. So I've already uploaded it, and as you can see, it's now been updated on my actual site. So yeah, this is definitely something I would recommend any beginner to do, because once again, whenever a potential customer lands on your site, they're going to trust you that much more, and they're probably going to purchase from you because they can see that you've taken effort in your site and you come across like a professional seller. But we're now on to one of the next things that you need to do. And if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to press the like button. It allows me to know what type of content you guys like. So I would recommend also signing up for a Google Search Console account. So for those of you that's not really sure what this is and why you need it, it's completely free, don't worry. And Google created it as a way to help you see exactly which pages are being indexed in Google, and it's also a way for Google to know that your website even exists. This is something that I do with any website that I build. I instantly get it connected to a Google Search Console account, because I'm able to see if there's any errors on my website. I'm able to improve those errors, and I'm also able to put my website in a position where it could be seen by more and more people. The sign up process consists of you simply giving Google Search Console your domain. You also have to put a code on your website so that you can connect your Search Console account to your website. And to give you an insight into what the interface is going to look like, I've just logged into one of the Search Console accounts for one of the digital product sites that I'm running, and it's going to show us the total amount of clicks, the total impressions, the average position as to where your site is ranking. It's also going to show you the specific keywords that people typed in for them to land on your site in the first place, which is obviously important because you can now grow your business by knowing exactly how people arrived to the products that you're selling. And of course, there's a lot more that goes into the Google Search Console. So if you wanted me to make a detailed video breaking it down, you also wanted me to elaborate on the actual sign up process, showing you step by step what you need to do, just comment down below, do the Google Search Console video and your specific location, and I'll be sure to get onto that video ASAP. But let's now move on to one of the next important things that you need to do on the back end of your store, which is that you need to make sure that you've set up your email marketing system. So a lot of people tend to forget email marketing, when I believe it's one of the most important things that any business on this planet should think about from the very beginning. The reason for that is because if you've got your email marketing system set up, you can essentially collect people's email addresses and turn them into customers down the line. And the thing about it is that it's something that can have a big impact on your future sales, and it's something that doesn't even cost anything upfront. For example, the platform that I like to recommend if you're building a digital product store with Shopify is to use OmniSend. OmniSend is free for you to use. All you got to do is just visit this page. I may link it down below, but once you're on this page, all you now need to do is follow through the process to connect your Shopify account to your OmniSend account. Then what you're going to be able to do is set up an email pop-up that's going to appear on your site. So they've got all of these different templates that you can choose from, but I'm just going to keep it simple and go with this one. You can also customize whatever template that you found as well. So if you want to update it by adding a input field for someone to insert their name, you can do that. If you want to change the color of it, you can also do that. If you want to offer a discount, maybe a 20% discount, you can make that change. And once you've enabled it, you're going to go over to your site and see instantly that it's now there for people to use and insert their information. And the good thing is, once someone does enter their information, it's going to go instantly into the email list. Everything's going to be automated. You can also set up email automations as well, so that as soon as someone signs up, they get entered into a welcome series. But yeah, I don't want to overwhelm you in this video. I actually made a video not too long ago breaking all of this down, so I'm going to leave it on the screen right there. Be sure to watch that straight after this, because that video has helped out countless people, and I'm sure it can help you out as well. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the like button, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in that next video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.